GG.
That's my friend! And you're found you!
So today we're gonna talk about a recap. Why am I talking like that, bro? Oh my god. Now when I wake up and I haven't had my coffee, it's just complete autism mode, isn't it? We talk about tempo and I'll talk about my games from yesterday. So I feel like a lot of like the video clips you see on YouTube where it's like, oh, this guy explains what tempo is, or this guy explains what tempo is. Either they're not really getting to the point, or it's like kind of dubious, foozle, whatever the hell. They're just like talking out of their booty cheeks, and I think I can maybe make it more concise, you know. The Platinum Genioso explaining what tempo is instead of a challenger player. I think if you're challenger or not doesn't really matter. Understanding concepts, you can understand a concept no matter what, right? You don't have to be Picasso to understand color theory type of deal. Maybe you can understand it a little bit deeper and bend the rules or whatever. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, it's not that complicated. Tempo. Let's talk about it just a little bit. And the idea is every player starts off with the same amount of time at the start of a game, you know, and now we decide how we're going to spend this time with the goal to destroy the enemy nexus by spending it in the correct ways that like have the highest percentage to actually lead to that outcome. And some champions are faster at doing certain things. For example, the one classic example for tempo is being ahead of the wave. So if you can clear waves fast, or if you can clear jungle camps fast, you will have a time advantage, tempo advantage over your counterpart. So if you clear jungle camps faster, let's say you clear it like 10 seconds faster than the opponent jungler, you have now like the opportunity for a decision, right? To make a decision that the opponent cannot counter. It's uncounterable. That is the idea of tempo advantage, basically, right? Because you will outnumber them, and outnumbering in League usually equates to win. Yeah, you can take another objective, you can invade, you can gank, and those are all advantages that you have because you are ahead in time and ahead in tempo. You know, you're faster in terms of time, pretty much. So that is one thing. Or you could also recall, right? And then you're on the map faster again while the enemy is still clearing the camp. Then they have to recall, and now you're like ahead in a sense, right? Same from a mid laner's perspective. If you can one shot the wave, you know, you one shot the wave, the enemy has to deal with the wave and take it. He has to kill it as well, while you're already walking bot lane or top lane or just into river to help your jungler. And that's pretty much tempo. It's not that difficult of a concept. I feel like it's pretty easy. I think in this way it's a little bit more intuitive to understand. So yeah, I just want to bring that up. I think tempo is like one of the most important things in League if you're fast, you know. And you can always spend your time however you want, right? You could also skip a camp and then gank to match the enemy's tempo, to match the tempo. Like I think that's called cheating tempo or something like that, you know. Cheated tempo or something like that. I heard it before. I don't remember it completely, but you'll hear casters. You'll hear casters say it pretty much. Cheater recall, cheater tempo. You know, it's all that is pretty much linked. You know, you're trying to get back on the map faster or match something that the enemy is probably going to do because of their advantage. So, there can be benefits and negatives to all of this, but I don't want to go too deep into it. I just want to like clarify the concept a little bit, if that makes sense. And now let's talk about my games from yesterday, which were kind of weird. Not exactly weird, but like this is the first game that I played, and I mean, you would think it's a complete pop-off, you know, but this game was actually pretty stressful. Very difficult win, like insanely difficult win. Essentially, all 3 lanes were losing at the start. We had a Lux top lane, which got completely clapped, of course. She couldn't match side lane into Trundle. And yeah, they just got they just got destroyed pretty much, most of them. Bot lane also got destroyed mostly by, this guy Zerath, and I kind of had to crawl my way back. I was full build at like 25 minutes, while the enemy jungler had like 2 items. It was a little bit insane. My snowball was completely insane. I wasn't sure if I could even carry this. I was very doubtful, of course. But yeah, it worked out in the end. It worked out. Almost highest CS in the game besides enemy mid lane. I mean, they had a Sivir mid, which was pretty good for us, They had some weird stuff as well. It's not like just my team had some weird stuff, but the Sivir was doing a lot more than this Lux. I don't know. I think she was like kind of griefing, but it is what it is. Low-key griefing, not high-key, not AFK completely or running it down. We're just carryable sometimes. I think this is definitely my hardest carry game until now. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. It's not like I played completely different. I'm just, I just got into the situation that I had a lot of resources and then used them well. And with the idea, because at the end, 6 items into 2 items, I was so tanky, they couldn't do anything pretty much. I was unkillable, completely unkillable. Their comp was just insanely bad into my items. Thornmail completely countered them. And yeah, it is what it is. That was a stressful game though, 30 minutes, pretty stressful. And this one is even longer. And in this game, I made a lot of mistakes. I actually got fed early a little bit. Kind of a weird game, to be honest. Top lane was running it down, bot lane was running it down. Mid lane was playing decent, I would say. The problem is, you can't really see it from the stats here, but this guy gave up a lot of pressure early game to roam, and none of the roams worked, so we roamed bot lane 4v3, I think, and we lost. So that was incredibly bad, and we got put behind like a lot, In terms of CS, as you can see, I had the highest CS in the game by 2 almost. Only the enemy AD carry, which got fed from that gank, 2 ganks actually, failed 2 ganks, and enemy AD carry just snowballed. We almost brought it back in the late game, but I thought I would be more tanky than I actually was. I think I griefed my belt here. I'll be honest, I think Spirit Visage is totally, that was kind of a bad buy. I was like, okay, they have so much magic damage. If I get Spirit Visage, how can they ever kill me? But they just one-shot me anyways, mostly because of the AD carry, of course. Like, AD carry being fed here is the only way they one-shot me. And then I got armor too late. I was like, do I get shock show? I was unsure, even though I had so much gold. Actually, kind of a lot of gold for how far behind I was, right? Like, 16k, just because of the farm I had. Yeah, I was richer than every single enemy player besides the AD carry, even though I was playing from behind and my side lanes were inting pretty much. But I was inting as well, kind of, it's not like I played super well. I just tried my best and I thought, okay, if I scale, we can win, but we didn't manage to. I was like kind of expecting the tankiness from the game before, which didn't happen. So it is what it is. I couldn't even kill their top laner. Anyways, yeah, I lost another game. Again, we had an AFK this time. We had a set AFK, top lane. If you fall behind, it can be frustrating, so I do get it. It would have been a win, I think, but it's difficult to say as always. It is what it is, The enemy... I also made some mistakes, actually. I remember. If I didn't make these mistakes, I could have probably carried, actually. I got fed early as well again, and just wasn't able to carry with that lead, I just ran in and died a couple of times. Some emotional decisions were made, which is bad, of course, instead of thinking about what to actually do. So it is what it is. I think I got so fat I was able to buy Thunder Sky immediately, and then I just died 4 times. It is what it is. You know, we're learning. And then I got lucky with my team, and yeah, 3 winning lanes, easy win type of game. That's yesterday. LP gains make no sense. I mean, they just make no sense. I don't know what the Riot did here to the LP gains, but they're completely insane. Almost 40 LP gains, 12 LP loss, and it's not like I'm like Smurf winning, you know? It's not like I'm going insane, like 20-0 or something. It's like almost 50% win rate, and I get like 40 LP and I lose 12. What the hell? Like I get -5 here because of the AFK, you know? Loss prevented, but bro, Jesus. Like the LP gains are completely insane in my opinion. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today, you know? How are you doing? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want to see gameplay rather still. And yeah, enjoy. Salute.